Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as Bitcoin trades above 69,000 following the largest quarterly options expiry in history. I'm also going to be sharing with you a $10.5 million Bitcoin price projection from the high priest, Max Keiser, as well as Bitcoin to attract $1 trillion from institutions amid the raging bull market, according to the Bitwise executive. We'll also be discussing new Bitcoin ETFs now hold 500,000 BTC, while GBTC outflows continue to slow down. I'm also going to be sharing with you a Wyckoff SOS, which could catapult the Bitcoin price to 100,000 per coin, according to the hedge fund manager, as well as Bitcoin skyrocketing by over 110% if history repeats, says hedge fund veteran Mark Yusko. I'll be sharing his timeline. We'll also be discussing how high can Bitcoin realistically go this cycle. New Bitcoin price predictions see the cycle top at 180,000 per coin. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Now, welcome, crypto fam. Happy TGIF. Welcome. Let's get it. Let me know who's tuned in. We're live and in the flesh right now. Bitcoin, bit of a correction. Yesterday we tapped 71. Today we're back down at 69. Major expiration day as far as the options are concerned. We're going to be discussing that here today. Good morning, Juan. Good to see you, broski. Sitting at the Audi dealership dealing with a dreaded check engine light. Oh no, Audis are beautiful cars, so hopefully they can fix that out for you, family. Welcome to the #1 daily. You already know, Rock. And today JB woke up with a bit of a sore throat, so I'm sipping on some hot ginger lemon tea. Hopefully this helps, JB. Tastes good. Biddies for the Easter baskets. That's right. Happy Good Friday, family. Today is the holiday weekend. It's Easter Sunday. Crazy how fast this year is passing us by, yo, already. Yes, end of March. Only a couple days left to go. By Monday will already be a new month. I choose freedom. Cheers to that, Peter. Shout out Russia. Let me know where you guys are tuned in from. Loud and clear in Chicago. Shout out Shaw City. Appreciate that, James. Let's freaking go, K-Jam. Shout out K-Jam, Jennifer, Dankness, and the rest of the mods. Always greatly appreciated. Shout out Matt Baker, Crypto Fam. Happy Good Friday from the UK. Sounds great. Appreciate that, Creeper 420. Shout out Lock Sky. Appreciate all the members and OGs of the channel. Serge says, good afternoon, JV. Good afternoon, family. Happy Friday. I'm just good Friday. Hope you feel better. Your voice is very important. Thank you. Yeah, I woke up. It was like hard to swallow. I'm like, oh, damn, all that traveling I've been doing. So sipping on a lot of tea today. Hopefully that helps. What up, David? Good to see you, broski. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, bro. Northwest Alabama in the building. I appreciate you letting me know, Creeper. Shout out Alabama. All my Alabamians out there. Happy Good Friday from Maryland. Maryland in the building. Shout out Alan Haley. Appreciate your family. Who else we have here tuning in live to the stream? Holla at your boy. Relaxing. He was the first one on the stream this morning. The first one to hit that like button. I appreciate it. Miami Beach in the building. Shout out Miami. Satoshi died for our fiat sins. Pretty much there, Craig. Pretty much. Happy Easter weekend, JB. It's been a minute. That is right. How many of you are going to be hiding Bitcoins in Easter eggs this weekend? That'd be pretty lit. Yo, God bless from Yalta, Crimea, Russia. Whoa, that's what's up. Shout out to the Russian fam. That's right. It's the year of the Green Dragon family, year of prosperity. You already know. Shout out to all my dragons out there as well. Q's dog, what it do? What up, JV? Just returned to Pinellas from my vacay in the Philippines. Small world. I was in Pinellas last week. I was at Clearwater Beach. You know what I mean? Had a good time out there. So welcome back home, family. How was your trip to the Philippines and Thailand? Let me know. Thailand's actually one of my favorite countries I've ever visited. So yeah, hopefully you had a blast out there. Hello from West Virginia. Shout out Hillbilly Will. Good to see you, broski. Smash those likes and sub. Thank you, Serge. Hello from West Virginia. Filipino Bitcoiner growing here. Love to hear that, George. Keep stacking them stats.
Pump it up. Pump it up.
Boing. Have a great show, guys. We'll catch you on the replay. Appreciate that relaxing. Appreciate you supporting the show. Hopefully we're back in the green before the end of today's pod. I lost all my Bitcoin in an unfortunate Easter egg accident. Oh, man. Sorry to hear that, Hillbilly Will.
Now, we all know Bitcoin is the best asset.
Facts. So, yeah, I lost all my Bitcoin. It happens, man. Easter egg accidents are the real deal. Happy Good Friday from Bentonville, Arkansas. BTCville. I dig it. I dig it. We got an actual BTCville out there. Shout out Dave Roberts. Hey, JV, North Carolina in the building. Shout out Must Have the Mustache. You already know. Love Pattaya. What's Pattaya? I'm not familiar with. Oh, is that something over there in Thailand? What does that stand for? It was a blast. Good to hear that. Florida here. Shout out Mark Johnson, Florida in the building. We got a lot of cats from Florida. I lost my Bitcoin in an altcoin accident. Oh, snap. Those dreaded altcoin accidents, family. I feel sorry for you. Facts. There is no second best.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Cheers to that. Going up forever, Laura. If your stream froze, Sandman, just refresh. It's good on my end. I monitor it on the mobile as I'm live, so it looks like we're good. But if it does freeze for you guys, all you got to do is refresh. You should be golden. You're ready to move to Florida? Right on, Hillbilly Will. What part of Florida? Pretty big state. North Cal. Shout out North Cal. Shout out Explosive. Pepe, says Cesar. You guys bullish on Pepe coin, I see. Word. Year of the memes. Oh, okay. That's the city in Thailand. How do I pronounce that correctly? Is it Pattaya? Good stuff, man. I spent some time in, let's see here. Remember the cities I was in. Chiang Rai and Chiang Mai. One of them had the White Temple. The other was more like a local town. Also spent some time in the Phi Islands, which is where they filmed, I think, The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio. That was pretty lit. Stayed at a resort out there. Very beautiful. And what's the one city everyone goes to in Thailand, besides Bangkok, obviously, is where most people fly in. So the name slipped off my head, but the beach town that's the most popular, that sounds like a bad word. I don't know why I can't think of it right now. I'm sure you guys know. Got robbed in Chicago. They only wanted my Bitcoin. Oh no, Rudy. Jeez. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You got that right. Central Florida vacation was incredible. Love to hear that, family. I was also in Orlando. Spent the day at the park. Epcot, so I was also in Central Florida as well. My wife is from Chonburi, which is the Pattaya district. Oh, that's what's up. Good to know, family. Yes, that's it. Phuket. It sounds like and looks like something totally different with the F word there, but Phuket. I spent some time on the beaches over there as well. You got that right, Hillbilly Will. All late today, fam. Chores today. Oh no, chore day Friday. Easter, happy Friday, or I should say Good Friday, entering Easter this weekend. Shout out Jennifer, good to see you, family. No need to have accidents. I just forgot my 12-word wallet key. I'm a little late on the drum roll here. Yes, that's right. Phuket, Thailand. Sounds like F it, right? No need to have the accidents. Talking about the losses, I lost 15 Solana over an address mistake. Eek. I used an capital H instead of a lowercase h. For real. I never even realized that if it's not capital and lowercase, that would make a difference. Wow. Because I would always copy paste addresses, right? Yeah, man. Patuk. Coos dog. It's a good Friday to buy Bitcoin. I like that. That might be joke of the day. It is a good Friday to buy Bitcoin. And it's not even a joke. You already know. But yeah, man, let's dive into our show, shall we? If you're new to the channel, make sure to smash the subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every day, just like this. Also equally important to hit that thumbs up, smash the like. It helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Today is pod episode number 1593. I'm your host, JV, and today is Good Friday, March 29th, 2024. It is Easter weekend, family. So So make some noise in that chat. Let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. We got Bitcoin trading above 69,600. We corrected from 71,000, which we tap yesterday. ETH also correcting back down to 3,500, while Solana, Cardano, XRP, Polkadot, and Tron are in the green and pumping. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we're sitting at a 2.66 trillion market cap with roughly 87 billion in volume for the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance still on the decline at 52%, with the Ether dominance, which has been on the decline for a while, now down to 16%. Last time we tapped into the 15% range, ETH dominance skyrocketed into the 18%, 19% range, and now we're back down. So keep an eye on that level. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours. We got WIF, the meme coin, leading the pack, up 14%, Litecoin up 10%, and Bitcoin Cash up 8%. Below that, Filecoin, Celestia, eCash, and Stacks. Now, which altcoins family are you guys most bullish on for this bull run? Holla at your boy. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get more of a visual perspective, I'd say roughly 60, maybe even as high as 70% of the alt market in the green today, but many are pulling back. And zooming out on the monthly, safe to say 90% of the market in the green, with the meme coins clearly leading the pack, some up over 500%. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index, we're currently rated a 79 in extreme greed. Yesterday 80, last week 75, and last month an 82. Now, why we pay attention to this metric is the higher this number goes, the more likely of a correction. Remember, we had a 10,000 correction in a single day. That was after tapping 90. So right now we're at a 79, and we'll keep a close eye on that. And checking out the Bitcoin halving countdown clock, today's estimated halving date is April 22nd, meaning we have 24 days left to go approximately, give or take a few days. It could be longer or shorter. Some are predicting by 420, but it all depends upon the block. Right now, we're currently on block 836,814. So we got roughly 3,200 blocks left to go until the Bitcoin halving, which is scheduled to take place in roughly 24 days. And here we can see $1 is currently equivalent to 1,441 Satoshis, and the Bitcoin market cap is sitting at $1.37 trillion. My question for y'all in the live chat, where do you feel the Bitcoin price will likely be by the time of the halving? Holla at your boy.
Pump it up. Look, pump it up if you came and went long.
Yes, that's right. Pump it up if you came and went long.
The dip hit, you just ate like King Kong.
And when the dip hit, you just ape like King Kong. Shout out Matt, 420 incoming. Send it.
Hey, more than 5 shots in your stack, then get it on. Yeah. Had the people on my back to get a song.
That's what's up, yo. Imagine the halving on your birthday. How cool. So Juan mentions April 22nd, his birthday, the same around the time of the halving, which could actually happen. So pretty cool. Who else off that tacky out of Malta licky Barty do? I don't even know what that means, bro. That's some new slang for me right there. I think people are not greedy enough, says Rock. What up, JV? Shout out Lazarus. Good to see you, bro. 388K. Send it. BTFD. You already know Hillbilly Willie. Oh, I came, all right. Oh, again, Barty Do. Greetings from Malt Licky, Texas. Wow, you guys got your own slang out there. I dig it. The Dusty Hunt, 52. I don't know about all that. Love and Light, J Ford. Good to see you, broski. It amazes me how many people didn't buy Bitcoin. Total morons, says Roger. Stanky Tacky from Alt Licky. Whatever you say. Thank you for the link. Smash the like. I bought 400,000 sats today. Congrats, Hillbilly Will. That's what's up. The Powell meeting was nice. A bunch of nothing. Pretty standard, right? Pump it up. You already know. Diamond hands and laser eyes. We so early, that's for surely. I don't even care about price. Shout out Robbie P on those bars. Jet lag and time zone change kicking my arse right now. Yo, I feel ya, Coos Dog. I feel ya. Freddy Krueger. Nightmares on BTC Street. Oh, Barty Do is a character named Ed Bassmaster. Interesting. Total poor people. Oh boy. Would you look at that? Unreal. I don't have any Bitcoin this bull market. Oh no. What have you been doing this whole market, man?
Broke, have a talk, we smoked them like a bomb. Oh yeah, we heard Kramer report that.
Reverse that Kramer, inverse Kramer.
He said, we bought more bags till we got a sword back.
You already know. Keep stacking them sats. But anyways, let's dive into a little Bitcoin TNA. Why don't we? The headline here reads, Bitcoin trades above 69,000 following the largest quarterly options expiry in history. The Bitcoin price remained above 69 Gs, baby, on March 29th, despite the market experiencing the biggest quarterly Bitcoin futures options expiry event in history. Now, Hao Yang, global head of derivatives trading at Bybit, shared the following. We have experienced the largest option expiration in history for Bybit and Deribit as well. People may roll over or unwind their hedging position during the expiration time, and the action of unwinding may have a small impact on the price movement in a very short term. Now, over 15 billion worth of crypto futures options expired on Deribit today, March 29th at 8 a.m., according to a March 28th post by Deribit. Now, of the 15 billion, 9.5 billion represented the notional value of Bitcoin options expiring at a put call ratio of 0.84 with a max pain price potential of 51 Gs. Now, while options expiry can lead to heightened volatility, the max pain price point doesn't offer an accurate reflection of Bitcoin's long-term price potential, which is still tied to its fundamental values, explained Yang. Just as a fancy gaming PC case doesn't directly impact the performance of the hardware inside, max pain is an indicator that provides some insight, but ultimately has limited influence on the actual price movement of BTC. So despite the expiry, the price impact was minimal, said Ardri, project manager of Nexo's prime brokerage division, quoting him here, with the current scenario where calls are substantially in the money while puts are converging to zero, delta hedging has largely concluded, and we anticipate minimal price impact from the expiry. However, the pivotal question remains. With the call profits, will they be reinvested into new contracts? And if so, what strikes and maturities will be favored? Now, I'm curious, fam, how many of you actually trade options? Holla. Now, the Bitcoin price fell 0.7% in the last 24 hours leading up to this event. The world's first crypto is now up roughly 12% on the monthly chart, so don't get it twisted. The Bitcoin historic pre-halving retracement occurred in line with previous historical retraces. The current pre-halving correction may be over if Bitcoin price can flip its old all-time high of 69,000 into supporting itself for this pre-halving retracement to be over. And quoting Titan of Crypto, he shares a chart and says, Bitcoin 97,000 target in sight, send it. A golden cross just occurred. As expected, the death cross was a fake one. The bull flag is playing out. Once the all-time high gives in, it's a matter of time for Bitcoin to reach the target. The market has its way to drive you crazy. Patience. And as you can see in this chart, it shows us soaring all the way up to 97,000, right on the cusp of that six-figure milestone. Another bonus tweet I wanted to share from Kaiser, he points out here, this neatly describes the speculative attack that Saylor and Bukele are making against the US dollar and all fiat money using Bitcoin that moves $300 trillion of purchasing power into Bitcoin. That's a 150x move from here, 70,000 an example, to 10.5 million per BTC. So let me read you this of what he is referring to. As pointed out here, the money glitch. I've heard a lot of crypto bros say Saylor found an infinite money glitch, talking about 0.875% loans, which are used to buy Bitcoin. I wanted to look into this because it made no sense to have such a generous loan considering the risks involved in the strategy. Turns out it is not really free money. The Citigroup loans are collateralized and Bitcoin and are actually convertibles with 0.43 shares per $1,000 of par redeemable at 2,200. I also found out that they hold calls on MicroStrategy. So here's the business model. Citigroup lends cheap loans to MicroStrategy, which buys Bitcoin, hypes it up. The price of both Bitcoins and MicroStrategy go up. Citigroup calls pay off more cheap loans. And he continues here, buy Bitcoin, price goes up, repeat. In the meantime, the media coverage brings in more people and the price climbs from the whole process, proving they were right. I don't know how much about the legality of this, but it seems really fishy. And then it mentions fraud back in the dot-com mania. Michael Saylor was the CEO in 2000 when the company was accused of fraudulent reporting over the 2 previous years. This led to the stock fall of a lot, 62% in one day, and eventually more than 90%. If you think he has changed, he was caught for committing tax fraud fraud for $25 million just 2 years ago by reporting that his main address wasn't in DC through MicroStrategy Records. Conclusion, I think the people involved in all of this are massive crooks, but the companies isn't leveraged enough for the things to be really bad. So very interesting. I think that was the end. Oh, there's actually one more here in the thread. Let me continue. I don't think this is 100% legal, but it is definitely abusing the current legislation on cryptos. On top of it all, you've got fund managers making silly price projections like 1 million a Bitcoin or 100 trillion market cap. The stock market is already pretty uncertain considering that the yield curve's been inverted for a while now and that the market has always underperformed at the current level of CAPE ratio. Multiple firms are having mass layoffs. They can afford less. The market just seems way too confident considering the macroeconomics, and Bitcoin may be trouble down the line. Note, I have always been pretty biased against crypto, but pushback is welcome. And again, Max Kaiser's response to all this is basically saying this is the speculative attack that Saylor and Bukele are making against the dollar. And if we move up 150x with 300 trillion moving into Bitcoin, that would send Bitcoin from 70,000 to 10.5 million per BTC. Let me know your thoughts on all of this, and I'll read some more comments out loud while I sip on some hot tea.
Can't short your dork, we can't afford that. Wait for the pump to come, we should have bought that. Yeah. So
I agree there. I think anyone betting against Saylor is foolish. You already know, Rock. But it is what it is. I mean, genius to be able to borrow infinite money at 0.8% or 0.6%. That's like a dream come true to any investor, especially when you don't got to pay it back till, what, 2032? Or something like that. So obviously Bitcoin's going to pump more than 0.8% and they'll be able to pay that off. In fact, Bitcoin can go up multiple hundreds of percent and most likely will. So no brainer. And I think if you guys were in a similar boat and could borrow infinite money at less than a 1% interest rate, my question for you, how much money would you borrow? As much as they allow you to borrow, right? I'm just thinking out loud here. Double B says, I am with Saylor.
You agree? And there is no second best asset.
1 million Bitcoin is not stupid. Just look at the Tesla stock in 2020, says C-List. Right on. Yeah, man. Inverse Kramer is 100% accurate. Pretty accurate. But keep in mind, even a broken clock is right at least 2 times a day. So every once in a while, Kramer will get something right. But yeah, the majority of his calls, that's why we inverse them. Infinite money glitch. Michael Jackson was doing similar thing with the Beatles catalog. If people check their cash into the bank hotel Bitcoin as a trend, Bitcoin will reach a milli. Send it. Saylor is a front for Citibank.
And that is why we are here, right? Because we need an asset. Bitcoin is the best. There is no second best.
Tell them. These people seem to think that the investors in Bitcoin will actually listen to their FUD. 100,000 before the halving is what I am saying. Respect, Jennifer. 100K before the halving. Send it. Hope you're having a good day. You too, Jonathan. Happy Good Friday, everyone. Is everyone fasting? No meat today? JV hasn't eaten meat since I was 16 years old. So hopefully you guys can fast for whether it's the weekend or at least for the day here. Let me know. I did take a loan to buy more Bitcoin. Love it, McFootinator. The only second best is on a set of 44 Ds. We need a drum roll for that one. Hold on. Pump it up. Shit out, Coos Dog. If real world assets really take off, Raven Coin was specifically designed for the stock transaction on the chain, says Novum. There is no second best. Facts, GT Lions. Tell them.
Pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You've got to pump it up.
Shrimp scampi for dinner. Enjoy it. A day. Love it. Shout out Dark Fire. What it do? Meat all day. What price do you think Bitcoin will be before the halving? It's an excellent question. I know we have the potential to hit 100,000. I think it's going to be a new all-time high. The current top is 73.8. Safe to say 74. So I'm going to put it past 80,000. But hopefully, I'm hoping it's 100. But we'll soon see, family. Neri says, good afternoon, JV. Good afternoon. I think after the halving is when we see the real fireworks, because that's what history has shown us. But we'll see, because this is the first halving where we broke the previous all-time high pre-halving. So all models may be broken and out the window. Time will tell. Having mac and cheese for dinner. Right on, Jennifer. And some salmon, says Serge. Michael Jackson would borrow against the Beatles catalog. Value would rise and refinance, rinse, and repeat. Good to note. Sorry to correct you, JV. It's a rim shot, not a drum roll. That's right. It actually is a rim shot. 100,000 at May 19th. Remember, I got to do the drum roll in person. That's the drum roll. McDonald's 100%. Oh boy. Apple pie for dinner. Where's the halving and what determines that? It's the block 840,000, as we discussed earlier. I shared with you the time chain calendar. That's when we officially hit the halving. The estimated date is roughly 420, give or take a few days, all depending upon that block. Not long to wait. I hope you're right. 100,000 would be sweet. I hope Jennifer is right. 100K, send it, fam. You already know. Yes, JV, when people make their whiff money, it'll roll into Bitcoin. Yeah, with whiff being up 500% on the month. Mind-boggling. Anyways, fam, let's discuss institutional adoption. The headline here reads, and I don't know why it went blank. Give me a second to fix the screen here for the window capture. 1 second. What's going on here? Yeah, 1 second. I'll fix that. Here we go. I'll take this from here. Window capture new. I think it's a little different from when I was on the mobile device. It happens when I was on the laptop this weekend. It changed some of my settings. So give me a second to fix that. We go here. We should be able to copy paste that into there. Bada boom, bada bing, and we're back in the game here, family. Here we go. Boom, shakalaka. All right, so as the headline reads, Bitcoin to attract $1 trillion from institutions amid the raging bull market, according to the Bitwise exec. That's right. Bitwise Chief Investment Officer Matthew Hoogan said institutional investors would likely inject as much as $1 trillion into Bitcoin through ETFs as they slowly move into crypto. In a memo sent to investment professionals, he addressed concerns over Bitcoin's price volatility as the asset bounces between 60 and 70,000. The executive said the best approach would be to keep calm and take the long view. Sage advice, patience is golden here in crypto. While the price seems unstable at the short term, Hogan noted many key events to look forward to in the coming months and years. These include the Bitcoin halving and the spot Bitcoin ETFs getting approved on a national account platform like Morgan Stanley or Wells Fargo. Furthermore, the executive highlighted that the space has to wait for investment committees and consultants still conducting their formal due diligence on Bitcoin. This is a necessary step they have to take before investing in the asset. He said that while the space waits for these key events, the Bitcoin price would likely chop sideways whenever there are small changes in sentiment. However, the investment officer believes things would be different long term. Quoting him here, but long term, we believe Bitcoin is in a raging bull market. Not only is it up nearly 300% in the past 15 months, but there are strong reasons to think that will continue. Amen. According to Hoogan, the spot Bitcoin ETF approvals in January opened crypto to investment professionals in a major way, as we know. He also believes that investment professionals who control trillions of dollars are just starting to move into crypto. Hoogan highlighted that onboarding more professional investors would take years, not months. The executive also said that the $12 billion flowing into the ETFs since their launch is exciting and is the most successful ETF launch of all time. However, he believes that once global wealth managers begin to allocate just 1% of their portfolio into Bitcoin, this would mean $1 trillion in inflows into the space. Quoting him here, a 1% allocation across the board would mean $1 trillion of inflows into the space. Against this, $12 billion is barely a down payment. Very powerful words. What if they were to allocate 5%? That would bring $5 trillion worth of inflows into crypto, considering the crypto market cap all-time high, I believe, was roughly $3 trillion. That was back in 2021 when we hit the 69,000 all-time high. I mean, you run the math. The Bitcoin market cap today is roughly 1.3 to 1.4 trillion. So, I mean, a 5% allocation, bringing in 5% inflows into these products such as the ETFs entering to crypto is a pretty big deal, which could potentially take us 5x as far as the price action is concerned. You know what I mean? Just keep adding to your Bitcoin anytime you have some extra worthless fiat. Sage advice, Roger Phil, that's precisely what people should be doing, because those who save in fiat currency, we got a name for those folks. What do we call them? Let me know, fam.
But like most of the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit.
Not these Bitcoiners there, lady. Just saying. Late on the chat, been listening, but been driving. Don't text and drive, kids. Respect, Lisa. Greatly appreciate your support. Safe driving.
People that use.
Yes, people who use fiat currency as a store of value. What do we call them, folks?
Fiat currency as a store of of value.
C-List says I was joking that if JV disagreed that 3.5 trillion whiff market cap just was justified, I'd be heartbroken. That's right, Joe. It is poor. We call them poor, according to Sailor.
We call them poor.
We call them Biden supporters. That too, Don.
We call them poor. People.
Got some Jesus on Good Friday. Hallelujah to that. Shout out to everybody out there just joining the stream. We appreciate you. Happy Good Friday. Pump the like to pump the stream. I appreciate it. I'm streaming live with a sore throat. It's not going to hold JV down, but I appreciate all the support here on Good Friday, and happy Easter weekend, family. Let's go.
That use fiat currency.
We call them. That's right, Michael. That's right, Jennifer. Sailing putting on a masterclass for infinite money glitch. Devastatingly effective. Yeah, Sailor's the man. No text driven here, driving, even though I do it all the time to keep up with the crypto news alerts. Poor in the fiat and spirit. There you go. Uneducated, we call them that too. Look at Nipsey. Next buy signal, we got all 4 paws in the air. Stiff. When it's stiff and in the air like that, we've hit new all-time highs within 24 hours. Just saying, be on the lookout for a new all-time high this weekend. Look at that. Nipidator, not holding back. He's channeling Satoshi right now for all we know. Anything's possible. C-Les says Nipsey coin attached his DNA and he'll be a real dog meme coin. It probably already exists. Someone can create a meme coin in 5 minutes. So I wouldn't be shocked. Nipsey will be like,
you just shook up the world. How's that feel? Hey, I'm not surprised,
Precisely. Keep stacking them stats, family, but let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss these insane inflows from the Bitcoin ETFs. The headline reads, new Bitcoin ETFs now hold 500,000 biddies, while GBTC outflows slow. Wow, 500,000 Bitcoin just like that since January 11th, family. 9 of the 10 new spot Bitcoin ETFs have accumulated over 500,000 Bitcoin since launching January 11th, with their holdings now accounting for 2.5% of the current circulating supply. Like, whoa. The 9 ETFs, which launched Jan 11th, hit the milestone following another day of inflows on Thursday, having scooped up roughly 300 million in Bitcoin, according to Farside investors. This brings the amount of Bitcoin held by the 9 ETFs to a current worth of 35 billion over just 54 trading days. Let that sink in, fam. This is unprecedented. This is the most ETF inflows of any ETF in history, and they just launched 54 days ago. Mind-boggling. So in total, all US spot Bitcoin funds, including Grayscale, hold 835,000 BTC, which is roughly 4% of the entire Bitcoin supply. Now, this week's ETF inflows are back in the black, with 845 million in inflows measured thus far, reversing a trend of outflows that began March 18th. On March 28th, there was a total inflow of 183 million, with BlackRock leading the pack as its IBIT fund saw 95 million coming in. Now, Fidelity and Bitwise saw similar inflows, around 67 million each, while ARC21 saw 27 million, following a huge inflow of 200 million on Wednesday. Grayscale's GBTC outflow was 105 million, the lowest it has been since March 12th. The crypto asset manager has now shed 284,846 BTC from its GBTC fund since it converted to a spot ETF mid-January. That's right, they were once the largest Bitcoin hodler in the world. And they may still be, but not for long, obviously, as BlackRock, MicroStrategy, and many others will soon surpass them. In related news, Bitwise filed an S1 app with the SEC for the spot Ether ETF on March 28th. Fellow ETF analyst Balchunas reacted to the news, stating that his odds for the ETH ETF approval in May remain a pessimistic 25%, but could go even lower. There are 7 weeks until the deadline, and the radio silence from the SEC is bleak. You can thank No Claire Gare for that. Yeah, so quoting Balchunas, getting tagged in tweets about the filing, the ETH CORR study, and other ETH ETF hopium. I respect it all, but our odds for the ETH ETF approval in May remain a pessimistic 25%. I'd go lower if I could, to be honest. There are 7 weeks till the deadline, and the radio silence from the SEC equals bleak. Again, personally, I want them to approve it, but I also want to get the call right. So it will be a perfect 4 for 4 in crypto, ETF, predictions. And shout out to Balchunas, who has been on the forefront with all the ETFs since, the launch and pre-launch, and he has been pretty accurate. So give credit where credit is due. But what are your thoughts? Do you think we'll likely see an Ethereum ETF approval this year? Or do you agree with him and you're pessimistic? Less than 25% chance. I say that's where I stand. I say 25% probability of the ETH ETF being approved, but most likely it not. But I can be wrong. We'll soon see, because Mr. No Claire Gare provides no clarity, hence why it's No Claire Gare. Just saying. They aren't going to approve the ETH ETFs unless there is a lawsuit. Well, what if there is a lawsuit? Just like with Bitcoin ETF, they had a lawsuit against Grayscale. Grayscale won and it forced their hand and they had to approve it. Maybe a similar scenario. What are your thoughts? They won't get a control and stake. That's right, Len. We call them
core. We call them core.
Larry Fink grinning from ear to ear. That's right. Facts. Jay-Z. No, it's JV. Don't mistaken me for Jay-Z, please. When did you start buying Bitcoin? What brought to your attention? That's a great question, Mark. So for JV, V as in victory, because we all connect at the bottom like the letter V. So just remember that. So 2017, Bitcoin was $1,500 when I was introduced to it. And it was a speech by Andreas Antonopoulos. I believe it was a TED Talk, and it was called, what was the title? The Internet of Money, something along those lines. And it was maybe a 20-minute speech, and it just hit me, and I'm like, whoa, next level. And I started buying some Bitcoin. That's all it took. One speech from Andreas Antonopoulos, I was fully orange-pilled, and I said, I need to invest in this. And then I started looking towards the banks to borrow as much money, pulling a Michael Saylor, and borrowed as much money as I could, and I just bought Bitcoin with it. And that was my play, and it worked out very great for me. All good, Mark. Understand. But yeah, I am not Jay-Z. I am not P. Diddy. I am not the diddler. I thought you were Jigga Man this whole time. That's so funny. Yes, that's why you never seen Beyonce in the live stream, family. That's why I have a Nipsey and not Beyonce, just saying. ARB coin prediction. I've never heard of ARB. What does it stand for? You give me your prediction and I'll read it out loud. How about that? The lawsuit for Bitcoin took years. Oh, was it that long to wind down through the courts? ETH will take the same. Hence why he's not anticipating it this year, but maybe potentially over the years to come. I hope it's just theater and the ETH ETF gets approved. Should be overall bullish for the alts, says the Cyper. Roger, Gensler's a slimy crook. Amen. No rim shot from me. That's fact. Sailor. I wish I was Sailor. I want to be like Mike. Remember that commercial? I think that was in the 90s. I want to be like Mike, referring to Jordan. Well, all the Bitcoiners want to be like that Mike Saylor. Just saying. What up, my dude? We wish you the best in wealth. Cheers, Jays. Yes, was Andreas for me too. Wow. Shout out Andreas Antonopoulos for orange pilling us. The other major influencers I turned to after Andreas orange pill me was Max and Stacy via the Kaiser Report. I'd start watching that and I was fascinated because in the United States, all the financial shows are like from Kramer, Mad Money, all the propaganda shows, which are going to ultimately wreck you if you take any of their advice. So when I started learning about Bitcoin through the Kaiser Report, I'm just like, whoa. You know what I mean? And Max just so, what's the word? Just explaining the entire money predicament and the US dollar. And then books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad from Robert Kiyosaki, which I have read a very long time ago as a young man, started clicking and I started realizing, wow, the dollar is doomed. We need a better way to save money because those who save in fiat currency, what do we call them, folks? That's right, POOR. So what are the alternatives? Before Bitcoin, the only alternative was pretty much precious metals, gold and silver. But now with cryptocurrency, you have the greatest store of value to ever exist, the greatest savings to ever exist. And the major difference, unconfiscatable wealth, right? That doesn't exist in any other asset, including precious metals. So for me, it was a no-brainer because JV already did not trust his government. JV was already like, you know what I mean? So it was just like, a perfect match. So respect to Andreas, respect to Max and Stacy and everyone who's been preaching the holy gospel of Satoshi and showing people a better way to unplug from this damn matrix. It's fitting that a person with Greek ancestry clued to many people into Bitcoin, reviving Western civilization, says Silas. The banks giving loans to purchase their demise. Precisely, McFootinator. Precisely. Pump my biceps, pump my Bitcoin. There you go, Jerome. Cheers. ETF buyers are not altcoin buyers. That's why I'm focused on BTC. Roger, just remember your health and fitness is the most important thing because you can't buy your health. Cheers, Derek. Thanks for the sub. Facts. Once you get sick and you're able to enjoy your success better. Facts to that, Roger. Health is God and health are more important than Bitcoin, right? You got to put God first and you got to put your health up there as well, because if we neglect our health, you're right. If you listen to the science and you take the poison thing we won't reference here on the YouTube stream, what good is your Bitcoin wealth if you're going to catch CANCER, right? Just saying. I actually shouldn't be preaching about this right now, but you got me going. Didn't the government school impress JV? The government school didn't impress JV. I went to the government school. I didn't go to a private school. I know firsthand how stupid the educational system is on purpose, right? I understand that. I understand who controls the educational system. And I understand there's no such thing as public school. The real term is government school. And I'm going to keep using that word government. So thank you. Shout out Odo Man. What up? What up? The SEC is theater. They're basically fiat. God shouldn't even be there in the list. In the trash bin, please. Stop littering your mind. Says Lucifer. Well, I would expect nothing less from Lucifer. So to each their own. Some, praise Lucifer. Some praise God. Who am I to judge? Nip Aruni taught Sailor how to buy Bitcoin. Facts. Sailor learned this through Nipsey, a.k.a. Nipperoni. Nipperoni. I like that. I caught, in Florida last month. Just stuffy. Yeah, man. That's exactly right. Eat clean and train hard. Amen. Respect. What up? Shout out Off the Wall family. Big hello from the island of Malta. We love you, bro. Shout out to Malta. Mortal Kombucha. Oh, boy. That should make students read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Just for alternative perspectives. Facts. Facts. And I think there was a book Trump put out with Kiyosaki when I was a young man. It might have been called Why We Want You to Be Rich. I was reading all these types of books. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Why We Want You to Be Rich, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, Wallace Wattles, I think it was, The Science of Getting Rich. All these books just help you think differently about money. You know what I mean? Does Sailor know about Nipsey? Well, Nipsey introduced him to Bitcoin. He should. You never know. Larry Pedro from Dothan, Alabama in the building. Let's freaking go. Look around you. This ish is by design. That's right. No coincidences here, Joe. What up, M? Says File. I was turned on to Bitcoin by the nephew. I was wondering where he got all his money. The young can teach us old a thing or two. Just listen to them. Now I am stupid in Bitcoin. Cheers to your nephew there, Don George. Love to hear that. Sell on May and walk away. ETH to 8,000 BTC, 99K. I get Bitcoin maximalist, first layer 1 and stuff, but Jesus, Kaspa solved the trilemma and add smart contracts to it now, which means Bitcoin plus ETH Pro Max, says QQ. They never approved the Trump book. Yeah, read all those. Sell in May and June. That'll be the top, says Adam. But anyways, fam, keep the comments coming. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We're live and in the flesh right now, but we still got a lot to cover. Let's discuss this Wyckoff SOS, followed by 150,000 target, followed by 180,000 prediction, followed by some live Q&A, shall we? That's right. The headline reads, Wyckoff SOS could catapult Bitcoin to 100 G's, baby. According to this hedge fund manager by the name of Charles Edwards, founder of Bitcoin and digital asset hedge fund Capriole Investments, he published a detailed explanation of Bitcoin's current market phase, suggesting a bullish trajectory, potentially reaching the 6-figure mark Send it. The analysis hinges on the identification of a Wyckoff sign of strength, a concept derived from the century-old Wyckoff method that studies supply and demand dynamics to forecast price movements. So that's right. The Wyckoff method, developed by Richard D. Wyckoff, is a framework for understanding market structures and predicting the future price movements through the analysis of price action, volume, and time. Now, the sign of strength within this methodology signifies a point where the market shows evidence of demand overpowering supply, indicating a strong bullish outlook. Edwards' observation of an SOS pattern in Bitcoin's recent price movements suggests the market is at a pivotal point where sustained upward momentum is highly probable. I repeat, upward sustained momentum is highly probable, fam. Now, in Capriole's latest newsletter, Edwards offered a precise prediction of the Bitcoin market behavior, highlighting a period of volatility and consolidation in the 60 to 70,000 range. This phase was anticipated by the hedge fund, and currently as Bitcoin ventures above its last cycle all-time highs and also aligns with the predicted zigzags SOS structure, Edwards elucidates that it would not be surprising to see a liquidity grab to an all-time high. All consolidation above the monthly level at 56,000, extremely bullish. It would be uncommon, but not impossible for the price to continue in a straight line up. The zigzag phase also perfectly aligns with the halving cycle, as Bitcoin tends to consolidate both months either side of the halving. Now, Edwards added that the realities of a much lower supply growth rate plus unlocked pent-up TradeFi demand, with then kicking in the launch of 12 months of historically the best risk-reward period for Bitcoin. So from a technical perspective, Bitcoin's foray into price discovery above 73,800 at this time is devoid of significant resistance levels. This opens a pathway to psychological and Fibonacci extension levels, with Edwards pinpointing 100,000 as the next major psychological resistance. That's right. Now checking out the fibs, the 1.618 Fibonacci extension from the 2021 high to the 2022 low is noted at $101,750, serving as a technical marker for potential resistance. Edwards reflects on investment sentiment, stating, "You can also imagine quite a few investors would be happy seeing six-figure Bitcoin and taking profit in that zone, acknowledging the psychological impact of such milestones." Let me know your thoughts on that, family. I personally feel 100,000 is a given for this year. In fact, Jennifer here in the chat has been calling for 100,000 before the halving, scheduled to take place in just less than a month. I'm firmly bullish on Bitcoin, as you know. Shout out to Capriole Investments and Charles Edwards. Let me know your thoughts on some of those predictions. I say 500,000 by mid-2025 because they keep trying to manipulate the markets. Do you think there'll ever be a time where they stop trying to manipulate the markets? Probably not. Maybe when pigs can fly, right? Jennifer, you can make almost any style and home oven. Adding a water bowl for steam makes crust crispier. What are we talking? What kind of food are we talking here? I miss good pizza. Oh, you're referring to the good pizza. Now, isn't the secret to good pizza good water? Is that why they say New York has amongst the best pizza in the world? Good water, allegedly? What are your thoughts on that? Because pizza does taste different down here in Florida, just saying. Well, actually, I'm not in Florida right now. That was last week. I'm in Puerto Rico. And yes, pizza does taste different out here as well, folks. Perhaps you're right, and we have a double top cycle. Top in June and a big pullback to the pump in 2025. It don't seem to be possible, says Off the Wall. Please don't hit 500,000 until my next Bitcoin goal. What's your next Bitcoin goal, Hillbilly Will? How many sats you looking to accumulate? Holla. The richest man in Babylon should be required reading for high school students, but anything that should be required reading, they're never going to require for obvious reasons. The school system is to keep you stupid, broke, and poor. Instead, we're going to read Charlotte's Web. Remember that one? Most important book of the world, Charlotte's Web. Make sure you guys read it. And what was another one they made us read? I think it was called Little Woman. Little Women or Little Woman. These are the most important books you need to read in school, family. I'd say Think and Grow Rich should be a part of everyone's education. It is really the flour and the gluten levels, how it was milled. Interesting. Slice of biddies. That's right. One Bitcoin pie can be sliced into 100 million Satoshis. Take that. All I know is Bitcoin is going to keep going up. I think 100,000 is very realistic. Damn right, Roger Phil. 100,000 is around the corner. Not saying gold because I lost them all in an Easter egg accident. 80% of the flavor in pizza is from the sauce. Then also the burn of the dough. Burn is flavor. If you don't have much burn, that's why they need the special ovens, like the brick ovens, the old school ovens, which they still have, like in New York at least. Italy doesn't have pizza like America. 1892, I've had, yes, pizza in Italy. I've had maybe 5 different pizza experiences in Italy. And the pizza was the thinnest pizza I've ever had in my life, and totally different. Nothing like it. My favorite pizza spot, because I had pizza in Rome and Florence and all that. I had a pizza in Florence, which was the bomb. And you can eat the whole thing, because it's not like a pizza in the States that weighs 10 pounds. It's a lot lighter as well. To Kill a Mockingbird. I know that track from Eminem. Charlotte's Web made me cry when I was a youngster. I don't even remember the whole book, but I just remember having to read it. I remember the cover. So, ironic. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. God dough requires a quality flour. Ooh, I want some of that God dough. So, you could also buy the dough pre-made sometimes. Vara is what I've been loading up on. Is that an altcoin there, Gerald? While we seem to dump and up to... What K? Automan in Alabama heading to West Virginia with my Bitcoin on my knee. Shout out Automan. I was in south of France. We went Italy just for the pizza. I don't blame you, yo. Food in France sucks. Now, I don't eat meat, so for what it's worth, I didn't eat a single meal in France that I enjoyed when I went to Paris. My least favorite food in the world is French food. A brick oven, and it's a shame the mayor of New York City wants to... Right, out of all things, ban the frickin' brick ovens. Screw the mayor of New York City. Just saying. Pizza's not poison. My mom is 91 and eats it weekly. Word. America guy that owns the pizza place in Pattaya is the bomb. If you know, you know. Now, my favorite toppings, pineapple. Pineapple pizza is my favorite. I also like jalapenos, and I like sauteed mushrooms. Honestly, I like all vegetables on pizza. You can't put a wrong ingredient on a pizza, just saying. I had veal in France. Well, exactly. I didn't eat any meat in France, so maybe that's what I'm missing. I don't know. But as far as veggie options, everything was gross. Pizza in Italy. Send it. Anyways, fam, next story of the day. Let's discuss this $150,000 target. Headline reads, Bitcoin to skyrocket by over 110% if history repeats, says hedge fund veteran Mark Yusko. Let's break down his timeline, shall we? The co-founder and CEO of Morgan Creek Capital, Mark Yusko, doubles down on his prediction that Bitcoin will hit the 6-figure mark over the coming months. He shared on a CNBC interview, Bitcoin would triple in price from its current value, fair value, or double in price from its post-halving, fair value. Let me know if you agree with that. According to the veteran hedge fund funder, Bitcoin's fair value is estimated based on the number of users and miners and the network's effects. So quoting him here from the interview, we look at the fair value today from Metcalfe's law model. That gives us around 50,000. The halving occurs in 3 weeks. What a halving does, it cuts the block rewards, the amount of money that is given to the miners to secure the network. If those rewards were to get cut in half as they do, many of the miners would struggle. So historically, what has happened? The price rises, the fair value rises. So that would push it to 100,000. But this time, it's a little different in that instead of just block rewards, we get transaction fees because of ordinals and inscriptions. So let's say the fair value only goes to 75,000 per coin this time. Then post-halving, you get a lot of interest in the asset, a lot of people FOMO in, and we normally go to about 2 times the fair value in the cycle. So in the last cycle, the fair value was 30,000. We got as high as 69,000. This time, I think probably 2 times because there's less leverage. So that gets us to 150,000 per Bitcoin. Now, according to Yusko, Bitcoin can reach the peak for the bull cycle that will ensue around 9 months after the halving, quoting him here. So the big move happens post-halving. So the halving occurs sometime between April 20th and April 21st, most likely. So once that occurs, then you start to get an increase in demand right from the spot Bitcoin ETFs and other people interested. But the supply of new coins goes from 900 to 450 per day. Well, think about it. If there is more demand than supply, the price has to rise. So the price starts to rise. It starts to become more exponential or parabolic towards the end of the year. And historically, about 9 months after the halving. So sometime towards Thanksgiving, Christmas, we see the peak in price before the next bear market. So there you have it. To watch this interview he did on CNBC predicting $150,000 biddy, check the show notes below the video in the description and let me know your thoughts surrounding his bullishness on Bitcoin with the fair value and rising as high as $150,000 within 9 months after the halving, which would virtually be the end of this year, potentially as soon as early first quarter of 2025. Bitcoin is young and will blow away any great stock or hard asset. Cheers to that, Roger. Roger that.
2-0, they really thought that. Again, you can call me 3AC because I'm blowing it up.
My kind of pizza. We're all in a super cycle this time. This cycle won't be like others. This is why we reached a new all-time high before the halving. Great point, great insights there. Anchovy, capers, and olives is the only way to go. I don't know what it is, but I've never liked anchovies, and I don't like capers, but I dig olives. I'm all for the olives family. Saw a cooking show and they put lamb tongue on the pizza. That's weird. They talk about the climate and the air quality, but it does not matter when millions of people come from a tropical climate to make demands on our energy intensive lifestyle climate. You got a good point there, C-List. I have tripled my money on Proppy. Nice. Bitcoin is young. Forever young. You already know. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts. If anyone just tuning in, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Yes, almost a gnat just flew in my face, my mouth. Had to get them out. Had to take them out. Much of Italy was once covered by a rainforest, but humans changed the climate and cut the forest down. Altered climate seems natural now. Pineapple. Hey, don't knock it until you try it. Everyone who knocks it, I let them try it, and they're like, yo, JV, you're right. How did the Chinese people come up with the baby names? They just dropped their change to the what? They do rolling power outages here, 86 days, over 100 Fahrenheit in a row last year. Be so glad to move to a tropical climate, 5-year goal. Come here to Puerto Rico, family. Lazarus says, ew. Is that from the tongue of the lamb or the pineapple? Right. You let me know.
Short squeeze, more please, yeah, it's going to pump. They drop foot, but it's still not slowing it up. I can't wait till the Fed starts showing its love.
Yes, the alchemist. You already know. Just say no to the ish coins. Just say yes to the Bitcoin. Ooh, that lamb tongue on pizza. Yeah, why you gotta put someone's tongue on the pizza? Just to make it gross? I'm going to be yelling, go Bitcoin, when the halving begins. Let's go. We'll be yelling together, family. I cannot wait. It's going to be lit because you know I'm going to be streaming on halving day. It's going to be wild. I guarantee it. I ate Romanian pizza and almost died. Ooh, what the hell was in the pizza? There's a canal aqueduct in Wales, highest of the world. You can kayak over, get pizza from the pizza boat, the kayak back. Just don't lose your biddies in the boat accident. Right on, Matt. Gnats on pizza. How about sats on pizza? You eat the pizza and then you just have more sats. What about that? Need a rim shot. You already know. But anyways, family, welcome y'all joining the stream. Now let's dive into our feature story of the day. The headline reads, how high can Bitcoin go? New Bitcoin price prediction sees a cycle top at 180,000 per coin. Let's break this baby down. Bitcoin price could gain another 150% during this current bull market cycle, according to Laurent, the CEO of Acheron Trading and Quantitative Trading Strategies. That's right, the executive anticipates a potential cycle top of 180,000 for the Bitcoin price, and this is based on a combination of factors, including the spot Bitcoin ETFs and the new supply reduction from the upcoming Bitcoin halving, which will occur in roughly 3 weeks, quoting the analysts here. If we look at historical performance with every cycle, the multiple on the all-time is getting lower. So if we apply this reasoning, it could be 2x to 3x what we saw previous cycles. So let's say around $120,000 to $180,000 per unit. Send it. Now, improving financial policy in the U.S. will also contribute to the Bitcoin price appreciation, according to the analysts. The market is pricing in a reduction in interest rates because they have been flatlining, so it's reasonable to expect them to go down in the near future. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Now, the prediction is in line with several other recent forecasts. Bitfinex analysts, for instance, sees the price reaching 120,000 before the end of this year. And according to a research report shared with Cointelegraph, here's what they shared. Our analysis forecast a conservative price objective of 100 to 120,000 to be achieved by Q4 2024, and the cycle peak to be achieved sometime in 2025 in terms of total crypto market cap. The ETFs have introduced passive demand, which means demand is coming from investors that is largely price agnostic. Meanwhile, wealth management giant Bernstein predicts Bitcoin to break out, reaching 150,000 following the halving by mid-2025. And more ambitious targets put Bitcoin price peaking at 337,000 in the bullish case. For example, on-chain analyst Willy Woo, the Bitcoin analyst and managing partner at CMCC Crest, wrote in a March 11th post, Bitcoin at 71,000 puts us here in visual of the upper and lower bound models. The upper bound right now is 337,000. So this bull market is still early, equivalent to 20,000 of the last cycle. And what's more, seven-figure price targets are also emerging. One of the most well-known is from ARK Invest. Kathy Wood, pump those likes, brethren, for Kathy Wood, who now sees a 1 million Bitcoin price as too conservative by 2030, quitting her here. Our target is above that. It's well above that. And with our new expectations for institutional involvement, the incremental price that we assume for institutional or institutions actually has more than doubled. In fact, I've shared this a few days ago on the pod. She is predicting now over roughly $3 million per Bitcoin as a result. Now, Bitcoin, as we know, just recently recaptured 70,000 March 25th, 4 days ago, for the first time in 10 days. And Bitcoin's current top for the all-time high is $73,800. When do you feel we're likely to re-enter price discovery mode? Do you think that'll happen this weekend, this next week coming up before the halving? When do you think we hit that 100,000 six-figure mark? Let me know. Do you think it'll be post-halving? Do you think it'll be sometime this year? Or do you think it'll take a while and be next year? As history has shown us, the cycle peak is always the year preceding the halving. But something to consider as well is this halving is different from all the other halvings that come before us. We've had 3 halvings, one in 2012, the first one in 2016, and one in 2020. All of those halvings were ultimately driven by the retail. There was no institutional adoption whatsoever. There was no BlackRock. There was no Fidelity. There was no ARK 21. And calculating the amount of inflows of these ETFs, like BlackRock acquiring more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy, and it took them less than 3 months, in which it took MicroStrategy 4 years. We have game theory in play. Now, what about all of these other ETFs that have yet to even be launched in other countries around the world, such as Hong Kong, such as El Salvador, different types of ETF products, which will be Bitcoin in and Bitcoin out. So game theory in full effect. We also have the nation state adoption. Plus, you can't forget about the retail. Typically, after we hit the all-time high, that's when the retail FOMO actually begins. That's what we have seen previous cycles as well. Hence why in 2012, it was 2013, all-time high. And then 2016 halving, all-time high in 2017. Y'all remember Bitcoin climbed up to almost $20,000. That remained the all-time high until the next cycle. Then in 2020, we had the next halving. And in 2021, I think it was November 10th, we hit the previous all-time high, which was 69,000, and which was wild because at that time, we still had FTX. Now we have the FTX founder facing 25-year sentence in prison. As of yesterday, it was officially announced. Some say he'll get off in 2 Bitcoin cycles on good behavior, which would ultimately mean 8 years. Let me know your thoughts on that as well. And what are your thoughts about some of the most bullish catalysts and proponents for Bitcoin that have been preaching a $1 million Bitcoin price this year in 2024, including Samson Mao? We have Max Kaiser, who recently upped his prediction for this cycle as well to $750,000 per coin. I want to know your thoughts. How high do you feel will likely to climb? And where do you feel, or when do you feel this cycle peak will likely take place? Will it be this year in 2024, considering this year is just totally different for this cycle? Or do you think it'll maintain 2025 where we hit the cycle peak? Do you think there'll be a double top? Do you think there'll be a super cycle? Do you think there'll be hyper Bitcoinization? I want to know your thoughts. And drop them in the live chat, family. Mimi says 100,000 in October 2024. Right on. It's going up forever, Laura. You already know. Imagine in the far future where the Bitcoin price is close to near infinity, there'll be a legend of the last whole coiner. Wow. Will he finally be forced to sell? That's actually pretty lit there. I guess I cannot wait. Bong rips and then pizza. We're still having a pizza discussion. Mushroom, olive, jalapeno, and anchovies, please. Yes, Joe. Here's the thing I learned about pizza. There's no right or wrong topping. You get to decide. It's kind of like in the crypto market. You guys can ishcoin all you want. You can go with the meme coins. You can go any direction. There's no right or wrong. You get to decide. It's called free will. JB, you switched from cycle to this year. Max says 750 to cycle or this year. I think the cycle. I think he said the cycle. I think Max was saying he upped his target from whatever it was prior, maybe 500 range to 750 for the cycle peak. And I upped my target as well from 500 to 750. So we'll see. This was according to a tweet that Max put out a few weeks ago, which I covered here on the podcast. My cycle peak is 650,000, if not a good cycle. I dig it, Steven. JV, it makes me think how much money BlackRock has and they can buy all the Bitcoin in existence. Makes you wonder. I mean, theoretically, the government can print as much money as they want and buy all the Bitcoin available on the exchanges, but at the same time, they'd be pumping Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is the enemy of thy government, right? Bitcoin separates money from state. So the last thing the government wants is a Bitcoin price at $10 million. Hence why they don't buy it all up. Can they theoretically? Yeah, they can just print unlimited money and buy all the Bitcoin, but then everyone holding Bitcoin becomes the wealthiest people on the planet, like Michael Saylor. And I bet you they don't want that. Just saying. Max said 220,000 in play for this year, correct? Correct. His short-term target is 220,000. He's been calling that for a few years now. We are in a super cycle, 225,000 by the end of the year. If they stop trying to suppress the price, it'll go higher. Cheers to that. I bet I can find a wrong topping, like those expansive coffee beans that have been through a Saibara's digestive process. Yeah, if you search hard enough, you'll probably find it. Maybe the lamb tongue takes it too far. Can't buy it all. Buy from the exchanges and only sell to the friends. And I've seen people eat $100,000 pizzas. You know, they sprinkle the gold flakes on it. Check out Mr. Beast. Grayscale has sold half of their Bitcoin and will sell more to keep some for themselves, says K-Jam. Dog with a hat versus everybody. You need money to force to get the Bitcoin, even just on the exchanges. Right on. We'll see. It's going to be interesting times ahead, family. Pump the likes to pump the stream as we continue to live the Bitcoin dream. I like Bitcoins on my pizza. Amen to that. If it ain't a biddy, take it off. That's all I'm saying. Pizza is Bitcoin. Then all the toppings are the altcoins. No Pizzagate here, though, guys. Just saying. We ain't talking about pizza in that aspect. I think pizza came up because we were talking about a trip to Italy and how the pizza in Italy is so much different. Pizza topped with sats. Pig phallus. No phallus on the pizza, please. Mortal kombucha, blackberry, sage, and ginger. Smells like apple cider vinegar. Tastes like strawberry lemonade. Snap. I'm a big fan of ginger. I wouldn't mind ginger on my pizza. Just saying. Mercury on the pizza, probably a bad idea. Yes, mercury in your teeth filling, bad idea. Mercury on the pizza, bad idea. Remember they used to put the mercury in the thermostats and then they let us play with them at school? Yeah. Today it's going down. What's going down? P. Diddy? Speaking of P. Diddy, we had a pretty interesting conversation about the diddler yesterday on Rumble, and it's about that time. We're going to head back over to Rumble right now for the uncensored version of the pod so we can talk about things we can't talk about on the tube. So head on over to Rumble right now. My Rumble link is always in the description, fam. It's rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net or simply open the Rumble app, type in Crypto News Alerts. You can't miss it. I'll be back here on the tube at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's been lit as it always is, family. Always greatly appreciate y'all. Happy Good Friday and happy Easter weekend. But head on over to Rumble right now, rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net, and let's continue with the uncensored version of the podcast. Deuces. All right, Rumble family, where you at? Where you at? Make some noise for the boys.